The Magical Forest Adventure. Chapter 1. The Mysterious Invitation. It was a bright, sunny morning when Lily first noticed a peculiar envelope lying on her doorstep. Unlike any letter she had ever seen before, it was sealed with a deep green wax, embossed with a golden leaf. The paper was thick and smooth, and the handwriting on it was unlike any she recognized. It read, "For Lily, the one who seeks the unknown. Your adventure begins in the heart of the forest. Follow the path, and you will find wonders that await. Do not be afraid. It is time." Lily, a curious and adventurous 12-year-old, had always loved exploring. Her imagination often carried her far beyond the world she knew, but this was something entirely different. There was an excitement that bubbled inside her, mixed with a hint of fear. The forest near her house had always been a place of wonder and mystery, but she had never dared venture into it alone. As Lily held the letter in her hands, she felt an unusual pull, as if the forest itself were calling her. Without thinking much further, she grabbed her backpack, filled it with snacks, a flashlight, and her favorite notebook, then ran to her mother to tell her of the strange invitation. "Mom, look what I found," she said, waving the letter excitedly. Her mother glanced at the letter and smiled gently. "This looks like something straight out of a fairy tale, Lily. Are you sure you want to go? The forest can be a strange place." Lily nodded, her heart racing. "I have to, Mom. I feel like something big is waiting for me." After a brief conversation about safety, Lily set off toward the forest, the letter still clutched tightly in her hand. The sun shone through the trees, casting long shadows across the dirt path that led deeper into the woods. As she walked, the familiar sounds of birds singing and leaves rustling in the wind seemed to fade away, replaced by an eerie silence that made her senses tingle. Chapter 2. Whispering Trees. She could almost hear the trees whispering to each other, their branches swaying as if speaking in a language only the wind could understand. She paused to catch her breath, glancing around, wondering if she was imagining things. "Hello?" she called softly, her voice barely breaking the silence. To her surprise, the trees seemed to respond. A low rustling sound echoed around her, and a breeze swept through the clearing, carrying with it a faint melodic hum. "Did you hear that?" Lily whispered to herself. Her heart beat faster as she took another step forward, the path narrowing with each step. The trees grew taller, their bark twisted into strange patterns, as though they were ancient beings with stories to tell. A few feet ahead, the path split into two directions. One way was bright, with sunlight filtering through the leaves, while the other was shrouded in shadows, where the trees grew thicker and their branches intertwined like a labyrinth. Without hesitation, Lily turned toward the darker path. Something told her this was the right way. As she moved further into the shadowed forest, the air grew cooler and the ground beneath her feet softened. The further she walked, the more she felt as though the forest was alive, watching her every move. At that moment she heard a rustling sound behind her, a soft tap, tap of footsteps. Spinning around, she saw a small, glowing figure darting between the trees. It was quick, almost like a flicker of light, and it was gone before Lily could blink. "What was that?" she whispered, her breath catching in her throat. But before she could second-guess herself, something caught her eye, a shimmering light ahead, just beyond the next bend in the path. Chapter 3. The Fairy's Guide. Lily's curiosity got the better of her. She hurried toward the light. It grew brighter and brighter as she approached, and soon she found herself standing at the edge of a small clearing. In the center, hovering just above the ground, was a creature unlike any she had ever seen before. It was a fairy with delicate wings that shimmered like the surface of water in the sunlight. Her long silver hair floated around her, and her gown sparkled like the stars. She looked at Lily with eyes that seemed to see straight into her soul, a knowing smile on her lips. "Welcome, Lily," the fairy said, in a voice that sounded like music. "I have been waiting for you." Lily blinked in awe, still trying to comprehend what she was seeing. "Who are you? What is this place?" "I am Lyra," the fairy replied, "and you are in the heart of the magical forest. This is a place where only those who are truly meant to discover it and find their way. You are here because you have a special role to play, Lily. A role that will change the world." Lily's heart raced. "A role? But I am just me. How could I possibly change the world?" Lyra smiled kindly. "The world is full of wonders, both beautiful and dangerous, and it is up to those like you, the curious ones, to discover its secrets and protect its balance. But first you must understand the forest's heart, and to do that, you must face its trials." "Trials?" Lily repeated, her stomach twisting with excitement and fear. "What kind of trials?" Lyra's expression grew serious. "There are 4 trials, each representing one of the elements: earth, air, fire, and water. Each trial will test your courage, your intelligence, and your compassion. If you succeed, you will earn the right to unlock the deepest secret of this forest. But if you fail," the fairy's voice trailed off, leaving an air of uncertainty hanging in the space between them. "Do you wish to continue, Lily?" Lily hesitated for only a moment before nodding. She did not fully understand what was at stake, but she knew deep down that this adventure was something she could not turn away from. "I am ready," she said. Lyra's wings fluttered, and she floated toward Lily, her glow intensifying. "Very well, the first trial awaits you." Chapter 4. The Trial of Earth. Lyra led Lily down a narrow path that wound deeper into the forest. The trees around them grew even taller, their trunks thick with age. The ground beneath their feet became soft and mossy, and the air smelled of damp earth. "This is the trial of earth," Lyra explained. "The first challenge will test your connection to the land, your ability to listen to nature and understand its rhythm." As they walked, Lily noticed a strange, uneven patch of ground ahead. It looked as if something had disturbed the earth, leaving it in disarray. Without warning, the ground beneath Lily's feet began to tremble. Startled, she looked down and saw a crack forming in the earth, widening as the tremors grew stronger. In an instant, a large, dark creature with glowing red eyes and sharp, rocky claws emerged from the hole. It was a creature made of stone and dirt, its body pulsing with an eerie energy. Lily froze, fear flooding her chest. She had never seen anything like this before. Lyra's voice broke through her panic. "Do not fight it, Lily. Listen to the earth. Only then will you be able to pass." Lily closed her eyes, trying to calm her racing heart. She focused on the ground beneath her, feeling the vibrations of the creature's movements. Slowly, she began to hear something, a deep, rhythmic thumping, like the heartbeat of the earth itself. It was slow and steady, a comforting sound in the chaos of the moment. The stone creature roared, but Lily stood firm. She reached out with her senses, connecting with the earth below. As she did, she felt the ground shift, the rocks moving and rearranging themselves in response to her thoughts. Xiao was not fighting the creature. Instead, she was working with the earth, calming its fury and restoring balance. To her amazement, the creature's thrashing slowed. The ground beneath them hummed, and the creature's red eyes softened to a dull glow. Slowly, it sank back into the earth, its form dissolving into the soil as the crack closed up behind it. Lily opened her eyes, her breath coming in shallow gasps. She whispered, incredulous. Lyra smiled, her wings fluttering in approval. You listened, Lily. That is the key to the trial of earth. The fairy then beckoned her to follow. Now, the next trial awaits you. In Chapter 5, the trial of air. The next trial was unlike anything Lily had ever imagined. As they journeyed to the next part of the forest, the air grew lighter, and the trees began to thin, opening up into a vast, wind-swept plain. The wind here was strong, whipping through the tall grass in swirling gusts, and Lily could feel the pressure of it against her skin. This is the trial of air, Lyra said, her voice almost drowned out by the wind. It will test your ability to adapt, to go with the flow and use your instincts to navigate through the storm. Before Lily could fully understand, a violent gust of wind suddenly swept toward her. The wind was so powerful, it knocked her off her feet and sent her tumbling through the air. She gripped her backpack tightly as she was carried through the sky, her mind racing to keep calm. Trust the wind, Lily, Ira called out from somewhere above her. Let it aya you. Lily squeezed her eyes shut, trying to steady herself against the storm. She felt the wind lift her higher, spinning her like a leaf caught in a whirlwind. Then, as if by instinct, she relaxed her body and allowed the wind to carry her. The turbulence lessened, and she found herself gliding effortlessly through the sky.